What is going on, everybody, and welcome to another video. Today we're going to check out controversial opinions on Reddit. So people wrote their controversial opinions on AskReddit, and we're going to look at that video and see what controversial opinions there are. I'm sure there's a lot of political stuff, maybe some sports stuff. You know, I don't really care about politics too much. A lot of people do. But yeah, I'm sorry about the reflection in my glasses. Can't really do anything about that because I need to see. But anyway, let's get into this video and see what controversial opinions people have. The original channel is Reddit on Tap, so yeah, go check out his channel. I'm sure there's a lot of great other Reddit videos on there. And yeah, 3, 2, 1.
What is your most controversial opinion? That the drinking age and driving age should be swapped. Get the drinking out of the way early before you have added danger of getting behind the wheel.
Nah.
16 to drink, 18 to drive. I think that's what they do in Germany.
I disagree. Alright, let's take a moment. For that one, I think drinking age, like at the end of the day, alcohol is not good in any way for you. Like, it just isn't. And when it comes down to one beer when you're 16, I don't see it as a problem. But if you're legally allowed to buy alcohol at 16, that's a whole different story because it stunts your growth and stuff like that. That's why most drugs, they stunt your growth. If you do them before you're finished growing, it's going to really mess you up, you know? It's like they said with weed. I watch a lot of podcasts and stuff, and some guy was talking about it, that you shouldn't smoke it until you're like, what, 25 or something, or 20, like once your brain stops developing, because it can have effects on the way your brain develops. So yeah. In terms of driving age, I don't really know. I'm almost 21. I don't even have a driving license yet, so it doesn't really affect me. Let's move on.
I'm in an open 3-person relationship and it's awesome. Wonderful. Dreamlike, and has been going for over 3 years. We live together and are planning on having kids in a year or two. When
3
I tell
people?
I get treated like I'm dating a sea-kid, so I have to keep the best thing about my life a secret most of the time. I do not understand how you all manage your emotions.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Jealousy, but that's okay. I don't need to understand your relationship.
I don't really care either. Yeah, fair enough.
I think a majority of teenage pregnancies are a result of parental failure. I think
I don't blame you just on parents.
Pregnancies result in parental failure.
Result in, yes.
Happy birthday song. That if we would have done nothing,
I missed that one.
I mean absolutely nothing. After 9/11. Just written it off as an expense and simply rebuilt the Twin Towers in a mindless, soulless enterprise, then we would be better off.
No.
I think the message that these aren't people, they are contractors, which is how the big shots really think about us, was broadcast to the terrorists. They would have realized there is no way to win, or even get revenge. Also, we'd be better off financially. When you think about it, it actually makes more sense fiscally to accept terrorism as a happenstance possibility, almost an insurance liability to add to an expense report, than to actively fight it. It can be completely ignored with little problem. But they'll get nukes, some people shout. I suppose there's a legitimate concern here, but I don't see it as very likely. Came here to say this. My most controversial opinion is that when you get past the lives lost and the material damage, 9/11 was no big deal. It wasn't worth 2 wars, and it was certainly a hugely missed opportunity.
That is controversial, bro.
That there should be no government.
That one is controversial.
I think
that's
domestic partnerships should be something that you can register. But I think that
this one about marriage, that's true. It means nothing. Like the government certificate
can register as an economic unit if they live together and run a household together. This could be a married couple or a mother and daughter, or 2 friends or a polygamous family or whatever. If you are a household, share income and residence, then you should be able to file taxes, sign leases, get credit cards, open bank accounts, and go about the business of life the same way that married people are able to do now. I don't think that the government has any business legislating romance or family. I've always thought along similar lines, but I never actually thought about extending it to things like mother-daughter, friends, etc. I think that is a fantastic idea. It would actually open up so many more ways of living with family, and even extend to helping different cultural residents live more in line with how they like. I don't think you should respect someone just because.
Yeah, this is basic.
Yes, a million
people who say that are lost. Okay.
I don't think people should respect
Yes,
you by default
exactly.
because of a PhD.
Yeah, I agree with this
PhDs
one.
who insist on
That's not
auto-respect
controversial.
drive me insane. Virtually everybody spends 5-10 years learning their career. Just because my learning was formalized and culminated in a piece of paper doesn't mean anyone owes me crap. We spend entirely too much money on special education.
What's special
It makes
education?
zero sense to spend the majority of the money on those least likely to contribute to society.
Okay.
+1 for actually posting something even remotely controversial.
Bro, this one. Alright, so he said we spend too much money on special education. I don't know how much. He obviously means educating disabled people. And in some senses, some of them can't learn anyway. And I don't think I'm not too sure how it works because I'm not involved at all. So it does make zero sense to spend on some of them, I guess. But to all of them, I mean, education is a basic right. So this one is very controversial. This dude in the comments under it said, yeah, you actually posted something controversial. Most of these aren't controversial, like the respect one. That's not controversial, that's just true. With this one, this is a controversial one. Probably the most controversial after the 9/11 one we've seen. So, yeah. Do I agree? I mean, I think they have to reform the education system big time anyway. So, in terms of normal education, yes, they need to reform it. This, I don't know. I'm not too in like the know of what happens with this, so I don't know.
Old people, like over 65, should need to retake the driving test every year.
Fair
I
enough.
think everyone should have to retake the test every 2 to 5 years.
2 to 5 years.
Non-offending
That's a lot.
pedophiles
I
should
don't know
be
how some
kitted and
people pass it
helped.
though.
Counseling, etc.
Yeah,
Not shunned and reviled.
that's true.
I've
Unless you've
spoken
done
with people
something,
from
then-
all over the country and believe that saying everyone should vote probably isn't the best idea. I don't care about birthdays and feel obligated to care for others because that's the norm.
Yeah.
Blood is not
I
thicker
agree.
than water. A true family is people you love and want to be around.
That's true.
Not those people
I
you
agree.
have to see once a year for no other reason than you share some ancestor. Besides, we all share ancestors. Forced organ donation after death. Opt out, not opt in. Pets are animals
You can't
and
force
shouldn't be
people to do that.
subjected to insane surgeries and recoveries as much as they are when they are already old. Also, kids
I don't
need
know
to
a
be
lot about
ignored
this.
sometimes so they can learn to be creative on their own.
Fair enough.
The developed world should leave Africa the frick alone. All of the donations, food, clothing, money, etc., stifle any attempt at creating a workable economy.
I'm not too familiar with this, so
I
I
support
can't
nuclear
comment.
energy. I don't
Fair
support
play.
natural gas. I don't see how this is controversial.
Yeah, I don't see how this is
I
controversial
think tips
either.
should be earned for good service, and not mandatory to make up for crap wages. Nice try,
Fair enough.
Mr. Pink. Kids need to lose. They need to fail.
Yes,
They need to get
correct.
hurt. And they need to learn how to handle it on their own. An inflated self-esteem is just as dangerous, if not more so, than a low self-esteem.
This is so true.
When a kid gets
You see
the
Ray
idea
Allen's
into his
video
or head that they're amazing
where
at
his son was
everything,
salty that
they
he
tend
lost
to
at the
do
game.
two things. Quit working so hard at getting better, and respond with anger and excuses to failure rather than critical thought and reasonable response. Getting hurt is an important thing to learn about. Learning the difference between what's going to give you a serious injury
8th
and
place
what's
medals,
going to
bro.
just make you a little uncomfortable
Makes no
for a
sense
while
to me.
makes you less likely to get serious injuries. Kids that get hurt a lot when they're young grow up to be practically invincible, because they learn how to do what they want to do without getting injured. Also, being too hygienic is dangerous. Your kids need to get filthy. They
Yeah,
need to
I
get
know
sick.
about
And
this.
they need to do it often.
I don't get sick a
The more
lot.
of that type of damage
Not
they go
anymore.
through while young, the better off they will be when they're older.
6 minutes 17. In terms of this, in terms of losing, I agree. Like, there are all these 8th place medals they give out. Like, come on, bro. I don't want a medal unless it's first. Like, at the end of the day, and if you keep getting congratulated for getting a C grade, you're not gonna aim higher to get, you know, a B or an A grade. And you know what I mean. You know, you can use that in terms of anything. If you keep getting like, oh, you done well when you came 8th, or you came 10th or 6th. No, you need to know how to lose. That's how all. You know, look at athletes. You look at like Michael Jordan and these guys. They lost a lot. Michael Jordan was cut from his team. That's why he hated losing. That's why he was trying so hard to win all the time. In terms of this, it's the same thing. Like, when I used to play FIFA, I used to hate losing. It used to make me so angry. You know what I mean? So like, it's the same thing. I always want to try and be the best at stuff, even though I'm not the best at games and video games and stuff. But yeah, I don't like being bad at it. That's what I'm saying. I don't like losing. But you have to learn. Anyway, let's get on 6 minutes 17.
But the majority of people, myself included, are a lot closer to being sociopaths than we would like to believe. Obviously, all of our actions are self-centered, but I see the majority of altruism as an innate instinct to be more accepted into society as a whole, perhaps to make more. I think faced with the choice of going to prison for life or murdering an innocent, most people would take the latter, and the bulk who say they wouldn't still would if someone else would kill the innocent person for them.
Yeah,
I believe the guilt someone feels after wronging someone else is probably more related to perceived consequences to themselves than a legitimate concern for the feelings of others. My central point is this: so many people consider themselves good people, but I believe that if they were placed in more extreme situations, their morals would change.
Yep.
Males
I'm
can
gonna talk
have
about this. 705. He said, like, your morals will change. Have you seen I don't know if you guys have seen that police, you know, with all the police shootings and stuff. One of the reporters went down to a police station and he done the he was the police officer and he was getting rushed by a big guy, and they gave him like a, I don't know if it was a pellet gun or a paintball pistol or something, and the guy would rush him and he had the choice of what to do. This guy's rushed him with a machete. Obviously, every single time he shot the guy rushing him, which is meant to be the criminal in that sense. And a lot of people will be like, "Oh, how could you shoot this guy or do this?" But they give you an example. If you're in that situation, you don't understand it until you're in that situation. In terms of what else did these guys say? I mean, of course, most people are selfish. I think when you see all these videos online of people helping others and giving them money and stuff, there's a ton of people that do that and don't feel the need to post it online, right? I feel like if you're posting it online, there's some element of fakeness. I mean, I understand some videos, it's a good video, people are going to watch it and you're going to make a lot of money from it, you know, giving money to the homeless. I've seen a ton of those videos, people make a lot of money. But if you're really doing it, a lot of people just do stuff like that for views and they want people to think that they're good or they like care about others, you know what I mean? Anyway, let's move on. 705.
Friendships with females. This is not a popular opinion on AskReddit. Not everyone who smelled it, dealt it, hennepin farted. Race matters. I'm black Asian and have identified primarily with middle class whites throughout my life, late 20s now. I can tell that people treat me differently in subtle ways, and I suspect that it's due to my race. A lot of people might agree that race does matter, but I think it's probably to a larger degree than they, or even I
It does a little bit. Like,
people don't go to prison for punishment but are imprisoned as punishment. I believe the state must guarantee a prisoner's safety while incarcerated and is liable for any injuries that occur at the hands of other inmates.
bro, prisons are not the place,
People
man.
should not
You
have
don't want to go there.
handicap parking privileges. I honestly believe that the average
Okay, I'm gonna end it there. This is gonna be the last one. That's hilarious, bro. Fat people should not have, what does it say, handicap privileges. Okay, look, when you're obese, it is a disability in terms of you can't do a lot of stuff, but it's your fault. And I understand people say it's not a disability, and I agree that, you know, there's a lot of like people controversial because people get offended all the time about if you're too fat you should pay for extra weight on the plane or something. Who said that? It was that white woman, I can't remember her name, Katie Hopkins I think, and she was having a whole debate with some fat woman about how she should have to pay more, and that you can just, it's true, you can just exercise and change your diet and you will lose a lot of weight. It's true, but some people just don't do it. In terms of this disabled parking, it is a disability. Like, you're disabled if you use it, even though it's your fault. If you're obese, you are disabled. Like, unfortunately, it's not the same as being born disabled, of course, but you are still disabled because you can't move. But I don't know. It's controversial, man. I don't know where I stand on that one. But yeah, that's gonna end this video here. Be sure to finish watching the rest of this video. You can check out the original channel. Reddit on tap in the description below. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more reaction videos. Thank you all for watching. Let me know what other videos you want me to watch in the comments below. And yeah, I'll see you all next time.